Hi class, I wanted to give you some video feedback. You will duplicate your sites and then you will implement your feedback to your duplicate ideally. If you've already begun, that's fine, but that is one way, one practice for you. Do take notes or jot down any of the feedback that you receive so that you can resubmit that with week 4. That will be part of a task for you to bullet point some of your feedback. So I tell you that in case you want to grab a pen or, obviously your computer. So let's jump in. Brissy, great, really easy and clean. And of course, as graphic designers, we love having anything that is consistent like this, these repeated circles. Great logos. Well done. Nice separation, simple descriptions. You've included Adobe Illustrator. That might stand out. The logo, I suspect you're going to have a few iterations of that, but this is super easy to read and very clean. The about, great. Close this up just a little, and do love this photo. I think it's great. And of course, close that space. I think the spacing, your line spacing, you want to make sure that that's consistent. It may have a different feel on your desktop, but when it's stacked like this, I think you want it to have the same consistency there. A little close here. On LinkedIn would be good. And you would just use the same profile photo that you have now. You may already have that here. I know you're linked up. Let's see. Okay, and that's great too. This works when it's separated by color. Something you might want to think about. But all good. Do remove this number, which is the placeholder. Okay. All right. I can usually tell by the mobile how things are going to flow. Okay, looks great, consistent. Okay. Well done. Everything there that you need. Anything that anybody would want to really know that is useful to them is all there. So fantastic job. Very minor edits. All right, great. Can't wait to see the finish. Tevin, I do love these colors, the way you're using those. Okay. This may need to come out. It's possibly a placeholder PDF. Yeah, so let's move that button. Check that out. A little easier to read this on the pink and the black. I ordinarily, have an issue. This one doesn't have quite as narrow strokes as the text, this font. This is always easy to read and looks good. Good photo. Update your copyright at the bottom. Make sure you're linked to at least a LinkedIn. If you use these, then link them up. But do have at least a LinkedIn. This is the font that is very narrow that comes with the template probably. So that you might want to watch. Maybe use this. Good color. Be great if that wasn't cropped, but something to think about in the beginning next time. Okay. Might want to remove this strip. And if you don't, it needs to be consistent for sure. But they're not linking, so I would take this out. Okay. Okay. when I open these, I should have information on them. I'm curious about this. I rather like the way you've done this. I don't care for drop downs, but it's not so far covering anything and it's discrete. I would be consistent with all your font throughout. Okay, the necklace. Okay. So I think there's a linking issue there, perhaps, as far as titles go. Right, so the will I'm not connecting with that particular, the image is not the same, and this. So that's the only thing that's a little confusing for me. And it is nice to have things the same dimension. It would be great if these were the same as this. And watch your spacing, make sure that it's all consistent, your vertical spacing. Watch this because of the contrast that's missing and your line break here. You can make that column a little wider. This is sorted by itself, and so if you have it done here, I think that's sufficient. It could end up in a strange place when we go to your mobile. Okay, so you're going to take that strip out. And I'm assuming where your navigation is, but we need a little help there, and this is hard to read. So yeah, a little time on the mobile after you make your corrections. Make sure that you can see that if you want to make this green, whatever, to have the contrast we need. Okay. But I trust your design is coming along great. Ordinarily, I would have those all the same, uppercase, but I'm kind of okay with that in this case. But definitely want to work on that. All right, looking forward to seeing where that one's going. I do like the color combination and the style you've got. Okay, Mark. We want to just make sure that this isn't overlapping. So either, wrap something or split in a logical place. Otherwise, really good. We want to correct that, increase that contrast. Probably don't need to scroll just to that. So I would say just have your about and have it start up here. Because, that's an extra step to get, not very far. Interesting. Okay. I like the way you've done that. Contrast. Good job linking up. Probably want to use the X symbol. Okay. Easy to read. We do want to see about where these are landing. You may not need that set. Probably want to remove those. Looking good. I do like this, and I don't see it very often like this. I like it. It wouldn't work for everyone, but it's working for you. Make sure they're centered. Yeah. And these, they can come up. They're not linked anyway. Here is not so bad. So that's going to be something to work out on your mobile. Because it's this is so deep that it is necessary to have the link to that strip. Okay, just some contrast here. Great, good job. Looking forward to seeing where all these are at the end of the month. They're really coming along great. Okay, Matthew. Okay. We're going to close up that space, that gap. We want 2 fonts, just 2. So you want one for your heading and one for your body copy. I'm feeling 1, 2, 3. And we've got a little bit of stacking here. It may be working on your other desktop view. We'll see. So when I select home, I'm here. Possibly this is all in your header. Here. Yes. So all of this is going to come out of your header, and you're only going to have your name and what you do. Okay? If you want to use this someplace else, that's all right. But at worst, what will happen is a site visitor will not be aware that they've changed pages because it all looks the same. But it definitely will require scrolling. You may want to edit this for your mobile. Usually we have to. Usually it's a little long, and I think you need just a little more spacing. Sans serif fonts work better, so you can see how easy this is to read. You don't have to go this big, but I think something in between this and that size would be good. Okay, and you'll want a LinkedIn account. So what I recommend to people is that you use a color for your navigation that you are using in your site. So if this is a dominant color, then that would be a good color. You may not be able to see a distinction, but this would need to be a little more pink. So let's check out the desktop. Okay, so in this case, if I go here, this is changing, but we have this, and I can tell you this is this competes a lot. And all people really want up here is your navigation. They want to be able to navigate your site. So this can go anywhere else. You do want to get into your content quicker. So this would be this with your navigation and your name and title, what you do, is what people are looking for. They can go straight here, one click, and here we are. A sans serif is going to work better. Close the space up a little bit. And yeah. You want to probably go to Gmail eventually. Yeah, I mean, this is a fine background. We just need to get into the actual content sooner. Okay. Consistent font for your paragraph text throughout. And you've got parallax scrolling, and it's okay in this situation. The two work okay together, but again, it's just how much content before we get to what we're looking for is the issue. So a lot of scrolling, we want to get to this. And we want to remove this. Okay? Anything that says coming soon, we don't want to have. Okay, we only want these things that they can see. So delete that box, bring these over, center them if you need to. So if we go here, this is where you're going to have your you want them to be set to silent so that the user has control. We don't know where they are when they're looking at it, and they like to be able to play it or the audio or not. So we try and have the audio turned down. Okay. And we may have discussed, you don't have to have the whole video on your site. You could have a link to your YouTube. We don't want to send people away to your YouTube because that's, curated just for them, and we can't compete with the algorithm for their attention. They won't come back to your site. Okay, so some of these I would reduce the size. And so forth. Okay. You want to, under your first short film here, without having it show up on your title, you do want to have a little bit of information. What gear did you use? What was your role in this? Did you write it? Did you film it? Did you edit it? Did you do all of those things? Those are the things that you want to include with your work. You can see on some others, but great job. You've done the hard part. You've uploaded your content. I like this, but we need to get into this. So I don't know if these would work on top of this blue. They might. It might be too busy, but these might work on top of something like that. But we definitely need to get into your gallery quicker and remove this. I don't understand why it's saying coming soon. If it's a video, if that's the name of it, then you need to let us know that that's the title. So a little confused by that one. All right, great job, everybody. Can't wait to see what you have next week. You're just growing so quickly, and I'm very excited for the work that you're producing, and that you'll be able to share it in order to get more work. All right, great job.